Psychology of Money audiobook. And I'm going to be giving you the key points that I got by Morgan Housel. One of the first key takeaways is no one is crazy. Doing well with money has little to do with how smart you are and a lot to do with how you behave. And behavior is hard to teach, even to really smart people. Another one, it's pride to assume all your successes are direct results of your hard work alone. Now, I'm going to talk about what I hear those to mean by no one is crazy. So from reading the Psychology of Money book, it was talking a little bit about how everybody has grew up a certain type of way. Everybody's grew up with different parents, similar parents, all different kind of situations. And because of that, no one is crazy. So if Stephen, for instance, right? Stephen grew up in Hollywood Hills. His father was a surgeon. His father was a surgeon. He bought elaborate dinners, nice yachts. He always provided his family with a nice living experience, right? So he came up and his dad told him to always go to school, make sure you get your degree in something that makes a lot of money and you'll be living like me. And he also told him certain things, secrets, right, that middle class and poor people don't know, which is why the son will be geared to think the way he does about money, right? But to somebody who's a low income, middle income, right? They might think what a rich, wealthy person is telling them is crazy because of how they were brought up. And a lot of times, success is systematically learned or dislearned or squandered, right? Because you can have the perfect example in front of you and you can choose to not go down that path. And depending on how you play it, you could not be in the best position because of so, right? So what it means by nobody is crazy, just because, to pick it back up on the story, is that middle class and middle earners and low earners, they usually are pushed an effect of, oh, it's never my day. Something always going, a lot of negative, complaining type, woe is me type of energy, right? So that might be what is pushed towards a daughter or another son, right? And that's pushed to them, and now they're thinking that there's no way for them to be rich. Their thinking is thinking that they cannot be rich. They cannot be wealthy. They cannot take care of their family and their friends in a really beneficial and abundant way, as well as their communities and people they don't even know who might need help, right? They might have been pushed the image that rich, wealthy people are greedy. They want too much. You can be pushed an evil ideology about people with money, people who are wealthy, right? Now, don't get me wrong, some people do get money illegitimately, right? But for most people, that is not the case who are well off and successful, right? Because people do not become successful and rich on accident, right? It usually requires a lot of mental hard work and physical hard work, as well as managing your emotions, right? And so that's not really taught about how we behave is a big point in and of itself that has to do with success for generations to come based off of what you learned and what you're gonna pass around. So no one is crazy because everybody has lived different lives, seen different examples put out in front of them to where they feel like they should follow or they shouldn't follow, and follow somebody else that may be more to their liking of what they wanna do. But the point is, though, that they're making is nobody is crazy. Everybody is going from their own point, which is meaning, and I think what Morgan Housel meant by that point, to take it a step further, is to not judge anybody because of their socioeconomic status, right? Because just because you have money doesn't mean you're a good person. Just because you don't have money means it could mean, like, it doesn't matter how much money you have, right? It's about what we do and how we behave. Because somebody being a low earner, middle income earner could be better morally, socially, happier, right, than somebody who is successful, rich, and well known, right? So I think his point he was trying to drive home is that it doesn't really matter how we perceive people. We should be wanting to be wealthy and rich and be able to take care of ourselves and our family in a major way in communities, not for fame, right? But do it so we are in a position, we're in a position that we can help. Because it's always better to be in that position to help, be the lender, not the borrower, because you're able to offer more opportunities to people, an opportunity that can be life-changing and impactful. And the more impactful you are, the more successful you come, the more people you reach, the more you earn. I'm giving y'all a little bit too much, but check out the book. It's a great book. Another key point that I love about this book, The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel, is your happiness can never be compared with money. Don't chase money as its expense. Basically meaning don't chase money to say that don't chase money because the goal isn't money, right? The goal isn't just for us to have money and just to have it looking nice. It shouldn't be. It might be for some people, but the goal shouldn't be just to chase money. Why? I gotta eat. I gotta pay my rent. What are you talking about? I'm gonna tell you. A lot of the times when people are chasing money, their emotions are attached to whether they have it or they don't. And if some people don't have money and money is very important to them, right? And their self-worth and self-imagery, right? Then they don't feel the best about themselves at the moment, meaning they're walking around with a wrong self-image of themselves and not able to be as helpful as they would be if they were happy with themselves and happy with what they have already. Now, not to say that person will ever get any money, right? But it's definitely not helping attract the money, right? And you can say attraction is mumbo jumbo or whatever it is, right? But I know for myself, when I see somebody smiling, walking down the street, and they're trying to sell me something, and then they might say something nice about my shoes or compliment me, give me something that adds value to my life, offer a free sample or something like that, right? I'm more like, me personally, I'm 90 or 80% more likely to respond, not ignore you, see what it is you're selling, or maybe even buy it. Not because of your product, it could be that or it couldn't, but me personally, if I feel like you're a positive person and you're pushing peace, love, and prosperity, I might buy your product just because I like you and the energy you're offering to add value to my life for today, right? Because I know you'll pass that along to somebody else, and I want to help somebody do that, right? Yeah. Your investing skill will bring you money, but you need more than skill to sustain wealth. Meaning that the power of compounding especially with stocks or anything that gives you interest with your money every year, is a great thing to have, so your money becomes working hard for you. Because if you just work hard for your money until you die, then you won't be able to really enjoy an abundance of it, right? Because you're the one always working hard and not your money. And nothing matters more than your happiness. That was another key point, that nothing matters more than your happiness, because if you're not happy, then the money won't make a difference, right? You can make more money and still not be happy and still be spending it in a crying or in a bad way that is not helping anybody, and you'll be back at square one of not having money or not having peace, not having happiness, because you know you're not managing your money well, right? So because of that, it's good to write out what is important to us if we don't know. It's important to know what is important to us. How can we do things that we are happy with, right? Once we identify those things, we won't have too many conflicting goals. And when we have conflicting goals, which often happens, but when we have them often not, we don't know what to do. When we reach these crossroads, they could be helping us if we study more about ourselves, study more about who we are and how do we want to add value to the world, not get deep in ourselves for the pleasure of getting deep in ourselves, but for how can we help each other and feel good about the decisions we are doing on a daily basis, right? Because that is true happiness, is being happy with who you are, loving yourself, loving what you have to offer, loving and appreciating what you already have right now at this moment, and not taking that present moment for granted when you're thinking and comparing yourself. Stop it. It's about what you have right now and what you can appreciate right now, and all the opportunities out there that you might be missing looking at the ground and not looking up. Another key point from The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel is don't aim to be rich, but aim to be wealthy. Meaning that riches are one of the things that people see commonly. You can see riches. Wealth is quiet, right? You don't want to be somebody who's just known for being rich, right? You want to be somebody that's known for helping a lot of people with your skill, your service, or the value you bring to a company, a business, somebody's life, in the multitudes, in the big numbers. You want to be known for that because that person is wealthy, right? And another thing about wealth is quiet as well, like I said, but wealth is what you don't see. Wealth is the money that has not been spent, it's still invested, and it's still working to generate passive income or just income in general and creating that cash flow. And when you create that cash flow, you're also being able to bring in more assets versus than letting the assets and liabilities go out. So being wealthy is being focused on the assets and the income you're bringing in, and with the money you're not flashing and showing. Flashiness is more of rich. Wealthy is more of quiet, owning 4 buildings, owning 4 big buildings downtown, right? Bringing in that income, and then not taking that money and buying a yacht, but taking that money and buying 4 more buildings downtown and keeping that money circulating for about 10 to 20 years. That in that process is wealth until you really spend it and splurge if you so desire to on lavish things. But money working for you with assets that are giving you cash flows every month or every day, right? That is wealth because it is quiet, it is not bragged about, it is not shown, and it's not really seen. You don't know who owns the Willis Tower. You don't know who owns these biggest, but that's not common knowledge. But if you was to name a rich person, we all can name a commonly known rich person who we don't have really any idea what they really do in their personal life, or what they do with their time, or what they do in general. We know some of them, but most wealthy people aren't really too much in wealthy people's business. Yeah, their information might be public, but you don't commonly know about them like a celebrity or like somebody who you refer to as rich. Wealth is quiet, rich is loud. Another point of why it's important not to focus on riches is because riches often is how you portray yourself, right? It's how you are being shown, viewed, right? Don't go out and spend your hard-earned money on people who don't even care about you. It's about how you can add value in a real way, not just by showing off what you got when people are starving, people needing help with a multitude of different things. And you might have some information that can help them, the same information that you might be looking up. And just think about how you can be more of an impact and solve more problems in the world.